Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Well, today we're tackling something pretty profound. It's the law of preservation, as it's laid out in Allan Kardec's The Spirits book.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we're looking specifically at Part 3, Chapter 5.
Okay.
And get this, Kardec actually communicated with spirits through mediums to get these answers.
Wow. So it wasn't just his own thinking then. He was tapping into like a whole other perspective.
Exactly. It's like a direct line to a different understanding of existence.
That's wild.
I know, right? So one of the first things he asks is the instinct of self-preservation a law of nature? Like, is it built into us?
Okay. So what did the spirits say about that?
They were pretty clear. It's a resounding yes from them. And get this, they say it's not just for humans.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in all living beings.
All living beings. So like even plants.
Even plants, from the simplest organism, to the most complex.
Fascinating.
I know. And they suggest it's not just about survival either.
What do you mean?
Well, they tie it to our purpose, like our individual roles in the grand scheme of things.
So it's like we're driven to preserve ourselves so we can fulfill that purpose.
Exactly. Okay, so this need to stay alive, it's fundamental, right?
Right.
But do we automatically get the means to do so? I mean, think about it. Resources aren't infinite. Competition can be pretty fierce out there.
Yeah, true. So what's the spirits' take on that?
They actually say yes. Like, the earth provides enough for all of us. Abundantly, they say.
Okay, but there's got to be a catch, right?
Well, yeah. They suggest it's often our own lack of understanding or maybe like misuse of those resources that leads to scarcity.
Interesting.
It's like we're not quite in sync with nature's rhythm.
I see what you mean. So it's not that there isn't enough, it's that we're not always using it wisely.
Exactly. They give this great example of desert nomads, actually.
Okay.
They manage to find enough because they're not like burdened by excess desires. They live in harmony with the environment.
Makes you think, doesn't it?
Right. Makes you think about your own life.
Mm.
Are we sometimes our own worst enemies when it comes to having enough?
Maybe we create our own sense of lack.
It's a good question, isn't it? Like, where do we see this playing out in our daily choices, in our consumption habits? It's pretty thought-provoking.
It is. It really challenges us to examine our relationship with material things.
Totally.
So we've talked about this instinct to preserve ourselves, but life isn't always, smooth sailing. Sometimes things happen that are beyond our control.
Right, like natural disasters or unexpected events.
Yeah.
What do the spirits have to say about those situations, those times when survival is really, really at stake?
It seems like they focus on resilience, like finding solutions if possible, but ultimately accepting God's will.
Acceptance even when things are really tough.
Yeah, it's a message of finding strength, of trusting a higher power, even when things seem bleak.
They even talk about, a really tough question.
Oh.
What if survival means making, impossible choices?
What do you mean?
Imagine a situation where you have to sacrifice another person to live.
Oh, wow, that's heavy.
Yeah. And that's where they introduce this idea of karmic weight.
Okay, karmic weight. Tell me more about that.
Well, they're very clear that such an act carries, heavy consequences. They call it a double punishment even.
So it's not just about the physical act, there's a moral dimension to it as well.
Exactly. It violates natural law and, moral law too. It's fascinating how they connect those two things.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
Okay, so we've talked about the need to survive, but God also made, enjoying life pretty appealing.
Right.
Why do you think that is? Is it like just a test?
It's a great question. I think it gets to the heart of, what it means to be human.
Okay, so what do the spirits say?
Well, they suggest enjoyment is actually a motivator. It drives us to fulfill our missions, to really engage with the world. But, and here's that test you mentioned, we've got to use our reason to keep ourselves from going overboard.
Right, so it's about finding that balance, pleasure versus moderation.
Exactly. It's like we're walking this tightrope between indulging and, completely overdoing it.
That's a great analogy.
And the spirits caution that excessive indulgence, it can actually lead to decline, both physical and moral.
Wow.
They really stress using reason to guide our choices, to discern what's truly necessary from, what's just extra.
Okay, but that line between necessary and superfluous, it can be tricky, can it? Like what's considered essential changes over time, and across cultures. I mean, a smartphone feels pretty necessary these days.
Totally.
But a few decades ago, it wouldn't have even existed.
It's all about context.
Yeah. So how do we apply these timeless principles to, like, our ever-changing world?
Well, I think the Spirit's core message stays the same. Use your reason, honestly evaluate your needs, and they're very clear about this. Hoarding resources while others lack basic necessities, that goes against God's law.
So it's not just about personal satisfaction. It's about recognizing our responsibility to others.
Exactly. Our choices have an impact.
Absolutely. And this chapter, it also delves into this idea of self-denial. Practices like asceticism.
Interesting.
So what's their take on that? Like intentionally making yourself suffer. Is there any value in that?
Well, they're pretty specific on that one. They actually dismiss self-inflicted suffering if it's just for, personal gain.
Oh.
Yeah, true mortification, they argue, lies in resisting excess and helping those in need.
So it's about action, not just deprivation.
Exactly. It's about channeling that energy outward, making a positive impact.
And speaking of using resources,
Mm-hmm.
they even weigh in on something pretty specific.
Oh, what's that?
Eating meat.
Yeah, that's always a hot topic. What do they have to say about that?
Well, in our current state of evolution, they say it's necessary. Like, it provides nourishment, the energy we need to fulfill our purpose.
Interesting.
But, as with everything else, moderation is key, right? And respecting all life.
Right, so maybe hold the judgment next time you see someone enjoying a burger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's more nuanced than just a simple yes or no.
It definitely is. It encourages us to think about our choices and the impact they have.
Our consumption habits, yeah.
Yeah, the impact on the world around us, recognizing that interconnectedness.
It's all connected.
Exactly. It's amazing how the spirits tie our, physical needs to our moral development.
Yeah, it's not just about staying alive, right?
Right. It's about making choices that align with a higher purpose.
It's like our physical bodies are like tools for our spiritual growth.
Exactly. We need to care for them, but also, use them to do good.
To make a positive impact.
Yeah. And that brings us to another interesting point in this chapter, voluntary privations.
Okay, voluntary privations. What's that all about?
Well, Kardec asks if there's merit in denying ourselves things, like for the sake of expiation.
Oh, so like those people who give up chocolate for Lent?
Exactly. Or those who do those, extreme fasts.
Do the spirits like that kind of thing?
It's a bit nuanced, their answer.
Okay.
They say their is merit in resisting meaningless pleasures, like freeing ourselves from material attachments.
The less stuff, more spirit.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But they really emphasize that true mortification, it lies in helping others.
So it's not about self-punishment.
Not really, no. It's more about using our resources to, alleviate suffering.
So taking that energy and channeling it outward?
Exactly. Acts of compassion, generosity, that kind of thing.
It's about action, not just deprivation.
Right. The spirits seem to be all about practical action. It's not enough to just deny yourself.
You got to actually do something.
Right, with that sacrifice.
Okay, so this next question, it might make some listeners uncomfortable.
Oh, what is it?
Kardec asks about mutilations.
Mutilations?
Yeah, of humans and animals.
Wow, he doesn't shy away from the cuff stuff.
Not at all. So what do the spirits say about that?
Their response, very pragmatic as always. They basically ask, what's the point?
Like, what's the purpose?
Yeah. They challenge us to think about the usefulness of our actions.
So if it's harmful
Yeah.
or serves no real purpose,
then it can't be pleasing to God. That's their take.
it's a good reminder that our bodies, both human and animal,
Yeah.
they're sacred.
Yeah. To be treated with respect
No unnecessary pain.
and no unnecessary alterations.
Exactly. And this respect for life, it's like a theme throughout the whole chapter.
Oh, I see that.
Even with food choices, the spirit's stress moderation, understanding that we're all interconnected.
It's like they're encouraging us to be conscious consumers.
Aware of the impact of our choices.
Yes. On the world around us.
So it all circles back to this idea of responsibility, doesn't it?
It does. They remind us that true progress doesn't come from external rituals or self-punishment.
It comes from within.
Yeah, from conquering our negative impulses, aligning our actions with, a higher purpose.
Wow, this chapter is jam-packed with wisdom. It's like a guidebook almost for living a fulfilling life.
It really is. And not just materially, but spiritually too.
Right. And what struck me is this idea that self-preservation, it's about more than just, physical survival.
It's deeper than that.
It's about preserving our integrity or compassion, our
Yeah.
connection to Well, something bigger than ourselves.
That's beautiful. It makes me think about those times when the spirits seem to contradict conventional wisdom.
Oh, like what?
Like, they say that sometimes intentional suffering can have a purpose.
Wait, really? I thought they were all about avoiding unnecessary pain.
They are, but they make this distinction between suffering for selfish reasons and suffering for the benefit of others.
Can you give an example?
Remember that example they gave of the bonzes and fakirs and fanatics?
The ones who put themselves through like extreme hardships?
Yeah, exactly.
And the spirits weren't exactly impressed.
Not at all. They said those individuals would be better off helping others, like using their energy to alleviate the suffering that already exists in the world.
Instead of creating more pain.
Yeah. Right. It's like they're saying focus on healing the wounds that are already there.
That makes sense. It shifts the focus from self-denial to, like, selfless service.
Exactly. Using our own experiences, even the tough ones, to make the world a better place.
To leave it better than we found it.
Yeah. And it ties back to that idea of preservation on a bigger scale. We're not just preserving ourselves, we're preserving, like, the well-being of all beings.
It's a reminder that we're all part of this intricate web of life.
Exactly. What we do to others, we ultimately do to ourselves.
Karma. Yeah.
Exactly. And that brings us back to that question you posed to our listeners.
About what it means to truly preserve yourself.
Yeah. In today's world, it's a question that, requires some deep thought, some honest self-evaluation.
It's about looking beyond our immediate desires.
Our perceived needs and considering those long-term consequences.
Of our choices.
Yes. It's about recognizing that we're all interconnected, acting accordingly.
Finding that balance between enjoying what the earth provides and using those resources responsibly.
Exactly. Ensuring everyone has what they need.
It's about compassion, generosity, respect for all life.
All of that. It really is. It makes me think about, like when the spirits talk about enjoyment.
Oh, yeah, they see it as like a motivator, right?
Right. But they also warn against going overboard.
Right. Finding that balance.
Exactly. So where's the line between, like, healthy enjoyment and harmful indulgence?
Yeah, what do they say about that?
Well, they explain that God created us with the capacity for enjoyment, for pleasure, because it helps us, to learn, to grow.
It motivates us to engage with the world.
Exactly. Like the sweetness of life, it draws us in, keeps us moving forward.
Keeps things interesting.
Yeah, totally. But the key, they say, is to use our reason, our discernment, to avoid going overboard.
So we're not just blindly following every impulse.
Right. The spirits emphasize that true happiness, it doesn't come from just overindulging in material things or fleeting pleasures.
It's got to be deeper than that.
Yeah. It comes from using our resources wisely, from, cultivating inner peace, spiritual growth.
So finding that sweet spot, appreciating life's beauty, its abundance, without, losing ourselves in it.
Exactly. Not becoming a slave to our desires.
And that's where mortification comes in, right? Not the self-punishment kind.
Right. More like a conscious choice to resist those excesses, the ones that will ultimately harm us, physically and spiritually.
It's about refining our desires, elevating our aspirations even, aligning our actions with what truly nourishes us.
Beautifully put. And that brings us full circle back to this concept of preservation. It's not just about, keeping our bodies alive.
It's about so much more.
Right. It's about preserving our moral compass, our connection to, the divine, our capacity for love, for compassion.
Becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Exactly. And not just for ourselves, but for, the benefit of all beings.
This deep dive has given us so much to think about.
It really has.
From basic survival instincts to, like, the complexities of making moral decisions, the law of preservation. It's, it's a framework, isn't it?
A framework for approaching life with more intention, more purpose.
What I find amazing about Kardec's work is, it speaks to our hearts and our minds.
It does, doesn't it? It challenges us to think critically, to question, to strive for a better world.
A more just world, a more compassionate world.
Exactly. And it's not just about preserving ourselves. It's about contributing to something much greater.
That's a great way to put it. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the law of preservation.
It's been a journey.
It has. We hope you've gained some new insights, some new perspectives.
And that you're inspired to think more deeply about your own role in the grand scheme of things.
Until next time. Keep seeking, keep questioning, keep striving to live a life that reflects the wisdom we've uncovered today.
Absolutely. See you all next time.